Hello everyone. I wanted to show you today some of these clips that I use pretty often in my work, and if you're doing any sort of repair work or service on anything where you might need to clip onto screw terminals, test leads, test pads, loose wires, especially automotive work where you might need to pierce the jacket of a wire that's in a harness. These things are very useful for that, and I got these off of an old linesman phone for the telecommunications industry. And I wanted to make this video about how to convert these to just a set of banana jacks. I didn't want to use the factory wire because I figured this is a low gauge wire for phone connections and might not be well suited to run a few amps through. So you can see these are definitely high quality clips. A lot of the alligator clips that you find nowadays, they can't even grab onto a wire very well, so there's a real benefit to having a nice set of these. Name of these is Alligator Bed of Nails. I am using 20 AUG stranded wire, and this has a silicone jacket on it, so that can handle a higher temps without melting the jacket away. And this is a expandable wire sleeving. This will help aid in the durability of this and just help keep it from getting pinched or torn if you roll some piece of equipment across it. If these were loose cables, then this would hold them together too. So if you were running multiple strands, this stuff's great. And these are called wire ferrules, and these are used a lot of times if you're going to connect something to a screw terminal. It just kind of holds the wire together and will allow it to take a single mount point well without coming loose. I got these as a little set for like $14 on Amazon. I don't entirely trust them, so I often will solder after I crimp these just for a really secure contact. A lot of people will just put loose wire into a screw terminal, and the problem with that is the actual screw terminal, if it's a threaded style, can cut through the jacket of the wire and break connections. So you could run a lower gauge wire in there and actually have it cut enough strands that now you've created a high resistance area that could turn into a fuse and actually burn off the connection. So these ferrules help hold everything together, and that helps ensure a good contact. I had some of this heat shrink laying around. It had a very heavy wall on it, and I thought that it could be ideal for this. I think these came out of a ribbon header assembly. When you have something really firm like this, it can really aid in durability. Figured I should feed these through now rather than after I put the eyelet on there. That could have made it very problematic. And I had these uninsulated eyelets from another project. Since I planned on soldering them, I didn't realize the quality of the crimp. I'm touching up these ferrules just to ensure really good electrical contact and no slippage. Sometimes these cheaper kits, they don't use the exact metal that they should in the contact, and that can prevent proper crimping. Copper is very expensive, so they'll use other alloys like tin. This is just a single crimp point banana jack with a gold plating on it. Sometimes this frays, you can burn it when you cut it to help keep it from fraying, but it also restricts the ID if you're trying to feed larger objects. So if you just cut it a little long, you can cut this back after the fact. These are really awesome tools. This is a little butane catalytic heat gun. If you just use a lighter on heat shrink, you'll often overheat it in some areas and you'll create a lot of wiping and oily residue on it. Stuff was very thick. It took a lot of heat to heat it up. May have even been adhesive lined. Here you can see these are brass screws, or at least brass plated screws, so this should have very good contact. And then they have a tooth washer included here. Little tricky, but not too hard. And this is really more of a strain relief than anything. I'm not terribly concerned about that wire pulling out. And if you just grab an object, that helps lower the back size so you can fit it into there a little bit easier. These are big, firm rubber sleeves. This is really all I had laying around, was just this LED strip. I think this was marked as 12 volts. Oh, yep, shorted them out for a second. But these will grab onto just about anything you can get a hold of, so for benchtop and repair work, I would recommend these highly. Get you a little bit of close-up so you can see what they look like. And thanks for watching.